What's up guys? Welcome back. It's Hunter again to a new video, and today I'm talking about the topic the art of letting go and why you need to move on. Yeah, but first of all, thank you very much for tuning in again, and thank you very much to everybody who tuned into my last video. My last video was about the topic why the job market is cooked and you maybe might chase your dreams. Yeah, a lot of people no. I got a lot of comments for my size, I would say, from people who were not subscribed to me, and there were some, it was mostly positive feedback. My video got recommended to a lot of new people for my size. It sits around 400 views right now, I would say. And a lot of people shared my opinion. Some people were more optimistic about it, some people were more pessimistic about it. But in the end, I think it's a cool thing that my video attracted a lot of new people. And yeah, I could think about the topic in the last couple of days a little bit more. I could think about this topic a little bit more in the last couple of days. Sorry for my English, I'm not a native speaker. And my views changed a little bit. When I recorded this video I was a little bit pessimistic, but now I feel more optimistic because we're in a really interesting time. The cycle has broken, the contract has broken, and it's a situation we haven't had in a long time. Maybe in Great Depression times or something. And it's such a mystical time. And I love it. I don't know. let's do it. Let's just follow our dreams. But yeah. Quick drip check. I got on a leather jacket I bought 4 years ago. This real leather jacket. I really like the jacket. Under it a grey zip hoodie I designed myself. I used to have a brand, a clothing brand called Alive, and this is my piece. It's like a one of one. It's the only one I ever made of this one, but I really liked it. Maybe one day I'm starting this brand again, but for now the brand is dead, unfortunately. But yeah, and on my pants I can't really show it, but I got on brown Carhartt jeans. I bought this from those pants from Vinted. And yeah, back to the topic. Why is this topic so important to me? Why you need to move on, let go? And yeah, for me, I have to admit I'm really a nostalgic holic. I really love things that happened to me in the past, and I also hate some things that happened to me in the past. And my head used to really evolve around those topics for a bunch of years. I couldn't let go. Yeah. It was so bad that originally this channel, and if you go back to my first videos which are still up on this channel, I used to be a German story time video guy. And I told stories from my early youth, my early teens, and my late teens, I would say. And those were stories who really impacted my life in that time, and I wanted to archive them. But and even though those stories got a lot of views, I think my biggest had like 6K views. It's still up if you want to watch it. I mean, it's in German. If you don't understand it, maybe don't. It was an experience about a party we had when we were really young. And yeah, I talked about those stories a lot. I had videos about my first time smoking weed, my first time drinking alcohol, my first time having sex. And I think I made videos for over a year here and there. Some videos got views, some videos don't really got any views. But I stopped because I thought, it's kind of boring to talk about like old stuff and always live in those times and think this is peak life. So that's why I stopped completely with the videos and concentrated on different things. And I want to set the tone here. As I said, I'm a nostalgic holic. Because I would say I had really good years, good, I would say late teenage years, and good early 20 years. I'm a little bit older than early 20s. Maybe you can see it, but it is what it is. And in those times, I met a lot of people. I had a girlfriend. She was like my teenage love. We met at a house party, not on dating apps, which is pretty rare. We were together for, I mean, we knew each other almost a year. I went to prom with her. I had like the whole Hollywood high school experience. And I'm really thankful for it. And the funny part is that we closed our relationship and ended our relationship because we said, okay, we don't fit together anymore. It was like a close thing, and I don't really have, yeah, I would say, I don't really think about her in that time that much. But in that time, a lot of bad things happened after it and before it with some other girls. And I would say I was such an innocent little guy, and there were some girls who really fucked me up mentally, which led to me not letting go of these situations. Yeah. Back then, a lot of girls broke my heart and hurted me, definitely. And around that time when Hamza, self-improvement, Andrew Tate was at its peak, I said, okay, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to be my own man, be jacked, make money, fuck what everybody else says. I'm my own master. And yeah, I used those bad times to ascend. But if you're ascend and you use this time, it's pretty important to forget about this. But for me, it was really hard to forget those girls because I really felt I had to prove them that I'm worthy, I'm not worthless, da 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 da. So my head was revolving around those times, and I thought about them for so long. So many years I wasted thinking about them, even though I ascended a little bit from back then. And that's the part I want to talk about. If you had a good time or a bad time, you start, if you had like a lot of positive or negative feelings about this time, it imprints in your mind. And your whole personality and word what's the fucking word? Will be focused on that time. And you define yourself because of this. But if you live in the past, you can't evolve. You can't. It's like it's really hindering you from a positive future. It limits you if you with your head still live in those times, because those times are gone. And if you hang on to these times, you don't open yourself up for new, better experiences. So, what can you do? I would say I have like 2 tips for how to let go and move on. And the first thing I would say as a universal thing is you have to forgive yourself. You really have to forgive yourself. If anything negative happened there, forgive yourself. If you did something bad, still forgive yourself. And if something bad happened to you, forgive yourself too, and the other people. And still be happy about the positive things that happened and what positive things evolve from that situation. Yeah, forgive yourself, see the positive, move on. And be open for positive new experiences. The second thing is, which helped me a lot, is the wearing it out. You have to stretch the whole situation out. Like really dive into that topic till you think it's enough, it is fucking boring, I can't do this anymore. If you had situations where you didn't get closure, produce your own closure. See, I had like, I would call it, I had like a couple girls who really hurt me. And a couple of experiences where I didn't have closure, even though they didn't hurt me, but I wanted more out of the situations. But in the end, I'm happy for how it is, and that is the story. My head always wanted to be like, oh, it had to be perfect. If it isn't perfect, I have to make it perfect to get the closure. But no, I accept it for what it is and not what it could have been. You understand? That's really important. Also, wearing it out till it got boring is when I started to make a little album, a little EP about those girls. I made 5 songs in a span over a couple of years. And now that the project is done, I put it to the side. When I finished it, I recently listened to it. And when I created that album, I put everything into it. Like, you really have to write down your thoughts. You really have to sing and rap those things onto a beat. You have to create the visuals. You expand this world. But this word, I would say, gets closed. You wrote your own story, your own finish, your own ending, your closed project. I put it to the side, and a couple of weeks ago I listened to it after some years, and I was like, that's not me anymore. It bores me to think about the good and bad times back then. And it was so boring, and I thought, man, if I still live in those times, still think about, I want to prove myself to those people, if I still think like this, I'm their little puppet, they are my master. And if you closed, for me it was like, okay, I listened to it, this time is over, I forgave them, I took their power away over me. And when I listened to it, I was like, it's so boring. Life is so much better. And that's a whole situation where I was like the puppet of some girls. And their power, they had power over me because I wanted to get like romantically, I was romantically interested in them. They wasn't, but they liked my attention and used me, and I did everything like a little lapdog. And yeah, now I have separated from those times. Looking back to it, I see myself how much I evolved over those times. And I like how I evolved, not gonna lie, the motivation from them was really good. But now, not anymore, but last year I checked out some girls and I was like, damn, they didn't really evolve. And when I took off those pink lenses, I really could see how the person really is, how she was, what her personality is like. And I was like, damn, now those glasses are off, I'm not in love anymore, I don't even like this person. And I think I'm cooler. And I don't want to impress them, I want to impress myself. Yeah. If you have a traumatic event or some good events from the past, don't associate yourself with those time anymore. Give yourself closure, move on. Yeah. And the last thing, a story I wanted to tell, it's a little bit nostalgic story, but you don't want to become the guy I met in a bar a couple years ago. I think this guy was close to 60. He came up to me. He looked very friendly, a little bit fragile, but friendly. And we talked anything. But then it became a little bit creepy. He became a little bit perverted, not onto me, but like how he talked about women in general, which I thought like was crazy. But he had a girlfriend like back in the 90s or 80s. That was his only girlfriend ever, his only sexual experience ever, and he still talked to me about how great it was. I can't blame him if this was his only experience, but you can see he never moved on from that time in the 90s, 80s or something. And you don't want to become that guy who lives in the past. You go into the future all this time. You have time Sorry. Man, English, right? Right, guys? So you live in the past and you have all this time coming at you. The years go by, but you don't evolve because in your head you're still in the past. Then you go to a bar, meet a young guy, you didn't notice that you will get old, talk to him about, back in my day, in the 80s, I had sex with this one girl, remember? And I'm like, bro, I wasn't even born there. Why do you talk about this topic? I don't care. And he didn't evolve. And you don't want to become this guy. I don't want to become this guy in 20 years. In 20 years, I'm not 60. In 40 years, I don't want to be this guy going to young guys at the bar and, yeah, back in 2020, I had so good sex with da-da-da. Fuck no. I want to tell a different story. The time from now till I'm 60, I want to have good experience, new experience, build my character. And you can't build your character if you always cling to the past. That's everything I got to say. And if you're interested in that album I created, maybe I will drop it someday. But maybe not. Have a nice day, guys. See you in another video. Hunter out.